you just make yourself comfortable and begin to relax, wherever you find yourself right now, whether you're seated comfortably or perhaps lying in a bed, you might notice how even the softest of breezes outside can shift your awareness inwards, as if the world invites you to take a rest just for a moment. And there's no need for you to do anything. Just allow yourself to be here with the sensations and sounds exactly as they are. It can feel a bit like pausing at the edge of a pond, watching gentle ripples move across the surface, and realizing you don't need to control them. Simply noticing. And perhaps there's a feeling of your body settling, the rhythm of your breathing, and a growing sense that it's safe to let your attention just drift for a while in a way that feels most comfortable just for you. And as you remain there at the water's edge, you might begin to see how the ripples naturally broaden and soften, the pond settling into a quiet, reflective stillness. Each breath can feel like a tiny stone dropping gently into the water, sending out small circles that get wider and less pronounced as they go. And people sometimes notice a deeper feeling of calm washing over them, much like watching those ripples fade into a tranquil mirror. And you know, the most remarkable thing about water is how it receives every stone and ripple without judgment, accepting what comes and always returning to stillness in its own time. Some people will remember times when the surface of their thoughts felt crowded by the gaze of others, almost as if every small ripple might be seen, measured and judged. And as you watch this pond, you can recall how the water simply holds all it receives, responding in its own gentle way, unconcerned with the opinions of passing clouds or watching birds. And just imagine for a moment that any worries simply fall into the water, knowing that the pond knows well how to be itself, no matter what causes ripples, how long they last. And sometimes, standing quietly by the water, it becomes possible to realize that when others appear to look closely, they may only be seeing their own reflection, just as you notice your own now. I remember a friend of mine. She once planted wildflowers by just a pond such as this. She was worried at first that others might judge her choices, the colors she selected or the way the blooms shaped themselves, so different from what any strict guideline or neighbor might expect. And with each season, the wildflowers chose their path, some mingling together, others blossoming boldly, and a few hiding shyly in the shade. She noticed herself enjoying the moments of quiet admiration for what simply was, unconcerned with design, feeling free enough to smile at the chaos and the beauty. And after a while, the opinions of those around her faded into the wind. A sound easy to hear and just as easy to let drift by. And you know, there's a certain wisdom that comes when you allow your experience to be a reflection of your own kindness. A new understanding that much of what seems like judgment is just wind and water speaking, a noise that passes away in time. And each time you notice a slight tightening or an old worry surfacing, just let it ripple across your pond, watched but not held. And what if those ripples just add richness to your life's water? Not a sign of imperfection, but proof that you're living, breathing and fully alive. And when you offer yourself permission to be just as you are, you may find that the pond accepts everything, making space for each moment before gently returning to peace. And as this feeling settles within you, you might discover new curiosity about what it would be like to meet a gaze, to hear a remark, and to know deeply that even if someone notices a ripple, the heart of your pond remains unchanged. And now you can start to sense the gentle warmth of the room, the subtle shift of the air, a reminder that the world continues on effortlessly. And you can let that sense of tranquility slowly expand, guiding your attention back to the here and now. You can begin to notice the surface beneath you, your breath becoming a little fuller. You might begin to move your fingers or toes, inviting the energy of this new perspective to spread comfortably throughout your body. And as you take the next few breaths, notice how awareness returns, like rising softly from the water's edge, carrying with you a quiet clarity and a perfect ease. And as you move back into your day, you may discover new confidence when meeting others' gaze, perhaps finding it surprisingly easy to simply let judgment wash by, feeling anchored in your own self. In a gentle way, you can notice opportunities to feel comfortable just being yourself, with those old ripples just fading naturally into the background. Thank you for joining me on this journey today and for taking this time for yourself. Know that with each listening to this session, you're nurturing your own inner peace, and you can revisit this session whenever you like, or perhaps visit some of the other sessions on the channel. And until next time, goodbye and good mental health.